very important thing about is that anytime you use any angle that is not below 90 degrees, you must show how to get the angle. For example, if you get the result 135 degrees, how do you reach 135 degrees? You definitely use some method to figure out that the answer is 135 degrees. You have to indicate that. And also same thing, if the answer is anything on the third quadrant or fourth quadrant, you have to show the work. How did you come up with the answer? So in this quiz, I didn't give you points if you didn't show your work. How did you come up with 5 pi over 6 or 11 pi over 7? I'm like a genius. Okay, so I don't know how did you come up with those answers. You have to show how did you come up with those answers. Anything below 90, I understand. It's understandable. We have 30, 45, 60, 90. We learn so many methods for those. So it's understandable. But anything above 90, you definitely have to show your work. How did you come up with them? Okay. And for radian, yes. How do you know it's 7 pi over 5, 7 pi over 10 or 11 without doing any work? Like, how do you know? Radian format plus anything below, anything above 90 degrees. How do you come up with those answers? So if you tell me, well, I got it from the unit circle. Show me your unit circle. Draw your unit circle here. So I can see that, well, whatever you did here, you have the unit circle to refer to. So anything you do besides the 5 angles below 90 degrees, you must show your work. You have to tell others, tell your instructors, not only me, to everyone else, whoever you take the class with, you have to tell them, how do you come up with all those answers above 90 degrees? Okay? So at least in this exam, in this quiz, I gave you partial credit. But in the final exam, there is no partial credit. You get either full 3 points or 0 points. Okay? So you have to be very careful. And if you give me answer without showing any work, now you know you already had 3 quizzes and 2 exams. You know, right? Even if you cheat in the exam or in the quiz, I can tell very well. I cannot tell if you don't show the work. So if you show all the detailed work, then I cannot punish you anyhow because you have all the detailed work that I need. But if you suddenly give me answer, the answer is 7 pi over 11. How do you know the answer is 7 pi over 11? Okay, so that's the first thing that creates doubt in my mind. Having something without showing any detailed work. Okay, so these questions I put in the start quiz actually wasn't that hard. Only if you knew little bit how to use a ring. Okay. So the first question is a simplify for this expression. And remember, I said anytime you simplify, try to convert everything into sine and cosine because that's going to make life easier. You don't have to, but if you do, that will be a plus point. So the sine is already sine. We don't have to do anything. So we keep our sine squared x. For secant, we can convert this as 1 over cosine x. Now on the denominator, tangent, we can write what over what? Sine over cosine. And then we have cosecant. How can you derive cosecant? 1 over sine. Okay, so from this transformation, you can already see that sines are cancelable. So on the numerator, we have sine squared x divided by cosine x. And on the denominator, you can see we have 1 on the numerator and cosine x on the denominator. So we do keep, change, flip, and we get sine squared x divided by cosine x times cosine x on the top, 1 on the bottom. So cosine cancel out. The answer is sine squared x. Fabia, you almost got it. You just flipped it wrong. See, it wasn't bad, was it? In the final exam, you are going to have one of these. Now, in the next two, I told you have to solve for the angle, like what is x? Anytime you're solving anything, see, solve for x. Solve for x means you have to have x equals something. So if you don't have x equals something, you are not done. The first thing you see that they both have sine in them. So you have to pull out sine as a common factor. We get sine x, and you're left with 9 sine squared x minus 1 equals 0. So we said the sine x equals 0. That tells us x should be, so if you look at the sine graph, we have 0 here, here, and here. So this is 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi. Unfortunately, 0 is not included, and there is no 2 pi in our domain. So there is no x. There is a bracket. Okay. So if you do have a bracket, then we have x equals 0. Without doing any work, we can know directly. At least this one doesn't require any calculator. And our domain is only half pi, so it's here. Okay, the next one tells us we have 9 sine squared x minus 1, 0. That tells us sine squared x is 1 over 9. You add 1 and then divide it by 9. So you have to take the square root. We get sine x is plus minus 1 over square root of 3. But if you observe the domain, oh, only 3 square root of 9, my bad. Square root of 9, which is 3. Now, if you observe our domain, it's only from 0 to half pi. So definitely our sign is positive. So you cannot accept the negative answer. So sine x is only 1 over 3, no negative. If the domain was from 0 to 2 pi, then you have to have both of them, plus and minus. That's what I said. Domain is very important for your answer. Okay, so if you had this, you're not done. Because what's the sign here? Can you make a triangle with opposite, right? Opposite 1 and hypotenuse 3. Can you make a triangle? Our special triangles has opposite 1, hypotenuse 2. Or if it's 45, 45, it's 1, 1, root 2. Hypotenuse is always either 2 or root 2, one of these. So it's not possible to make a to use our special triangle. That means we have to apply sine inverse. So x equals sine inverse of 1 over 3. Now sine inverse is not something that you multiply by. So if you write x equals 1/3 sine inverse, it's completely wrong. It doesn't make sense. Sine inverse is a function. So you're putting 1/3 inside the function. If you are saying that you're multiplying 1/3 by sine inverse, does it even make sense? Sine inverse not a number, so you cannot multiply by sine inverse. You have to put the 1/3 inside the sine inverse function. So you have to do exactly this way. Sine inverse of 1/3. And now we cannot do anything because we need a calculator. And this is what I was asking for. Give me the final step so that all you have to do is plug in the result into the calculator, plug the equation into the calculator to get the result. And yeah, in the final exam, then you may see this type of question, where you need a calculator to solve your angle. Okay, the next one, Marco made it so complicated, but actually it was so simple. It's very, very simple. Exactly. Anytime you see sine and cosine, tangent. Divide by cosine, divide by cosine. Okay, so here we have a tangent. That means this 40 is not needed because we want the trig function to be alone. So we divide by 4, 4 cancel out. So we left with tangent x equals 5/4. Or you can do the other way around. If it's the other way around, you get cotangent. So the main thing is you have to put sine and cosine together to get one function. So sine cosine makes either tangent or cotangent. If you have sine over cosine, it's tangent. If you do cosine over sine, it's cotangent. So I divided by cosine, so I got tangent. But if you decide to divide by sine, you get cotangent. They both are right. You get the same result. I didn't see what you're supposed to get. Plug into the calculator until you get the same result. So our x will be tangent inverse of 5/4 or cotangent inverse of 4/5. And what do you have? X equals cosine what, Marco? Cosine inverse for 41 square root of 41. Okay. See, do you have the same result for these? And probably. Since you already have hundreds, I just ignore that. There is too much. But see, it's very simple. Huh? Which rules? Yeah, I think. You used one identity here. Tangent is sine over cosine. That's reciprocal identity. No, that's some type of identity. I forgot which one. Okay, so no, not yet. Okay, so any question on the first page? So I was being nice. I gave you partial credit on the first page, but in the final exam, you will see the same question, but no partial credit. Now in the next one, almost nobody got them. Almost. Only a few got it. But most of you got 0 in this page. Either because you didn't have all the angles you're supposed to have, or because you had no idea how to even start, or you gave me the angle without showing any work. Okay. So we have sine and sine. So you have to factor out sine is a common factor. Sine x, we get 2 cosine x minus 1 equals 0. Let me change the color. I hate black here. So sine x equals 0. That gives us axis. If you look at the sine graph again, we have 0, 0, 0, pi, 2 pi. And here we have 2 pi not included. So answer is only 0 and pi. Now for 2 cosine, we have cosine x equals 1/2. And we do know we have a triangle where we have adjacent 1 and hypotenuse 2. 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90 has hypotenuse 2. So which angle has adjacent 1? 30 degree or 60 degree? 60 degree, because the opposite of 30 degree is 1. So that means must be adjacent is 60 degree. So from here, if you tell me the answer is 60 degree,
I would accept because you already did so many examples with this. So without doing anything, if you give me the answer for the first one, I'm happy, no problem. But the thing is, since our domain is in 2 pi, so that means we have to have two solutions. If you look at the cosine graph, this is 1 and this is 1/2. Cosine is 1/2 twice. One is here and one is there. So if you give me one answer, that means another answer is missing. So how can you find out the other answer? Well, this is actually easy with the graph even. We know this is pi. This is 2 pi. So this means this is half pi. So this is first quadrant. This is second quadrant. This is 3/2 pi. And this one is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. So from the graph, we can see one of the answer is on the fourth quadrant. Or even if you have no idea about graph, no problem. If you look at your unit circle, cosine is positive here and positive here. And this is positive 1/2. Cos means x. So this is a positive x. So we had two answers. One is in the first quadrant, one is in the fourth quadrant. The first quadrant is 60. That means in the fourth quadrant, it must be negative 60. But we cannot have negative answer. So we have to give the big angle, which is 360 minus 60, which is 300 degree. So our second answer is 300 degree. And I want to see actually something from here. How did you come up with that 300 degree? If you just tell me, oh, you know by heart, well, no problem. Your brain is sharp, no problem. But tell me, what is inside your brain? Either draw me the unit circle or show me the graph. Do something that tells me that you know that that's 300. Okay. And now since we know degree, so we work with degree, but the answer must be in radian mode. So you have to convert each one of them into radian. 60 is simple, it's pi over 3. So if you tell me the answer pi over 3 without doing any work, I will accept. But if you tell me 300 is whatever what, 5 pi over 3. If you tell me without doing anything, the answer is 5 pi over 3, I'll surely doubt you. Like, well, how do you know? And if you tell me I use unit circle, well, where is the unit circle? Why are you showing me that 300 degrees is 5 pi over 3? You see? So if you tell me something, if you give me something complicated without doing anything, definitely there are few scenarios. First thing I'm going to think is you cheated. That's the first thing I'm going to think. And if you cheated, what's the point for me to give you the credit? You don't deserve that. Okay? So do not make me suspect, you guys. Show me your brain. I know most of you know your stuff, and I'm very happy about that. But still, I need to see the work. Not only me, it's the departmental policy. Okay? So I'm just following the policy strictly. Well, if you want to know why it's 5 pi over 3, you have to multiply by 180 on the bottom, pi on the top. So that 0 cancel out. And both of these are divisible by 3. So divisible by 5. No, divisible by 6. So this goes 5 times, this goes 3 times, the answer is 5 pi over 3. Simple. So please do not do the same thing in your exam. Do not give me a complicated number without doing any math. Or do not give me a degree that is above 90 degree, and you're not telling me how did you figure that out. Okay, the next one. Since you see cosine, that means we have to bring them together. So we add, let me change the color. We add 4 cosine squared x, 4 cosine squared x. That means we don't need this 5, so we add 5 to both sides. So we have 6 cosine square x equals 3. So cosine square x is 3 divided by 6, which is 1/2. And since it's cosine square, that means you need the square root. So we have cosine x is 1/√2 with a plus minus sign. And this time we have to accept the plus minus because our domain is from 0 to 2 pi. So if you look at a unit circle, cos is positive here, cos is negative here. So how many solutions are we supposed to have? 4 of them. We can figure out at least one of them. Which triangle has adjacent 1 and hypotenuse √2? 45. So if you give me 45 directly without doing any complicated math, I understand. It's understandable. So that means we have 145 degree here. We have another 45 degree here. We have another 45 degree here. And we have another 45 degree here. The only angle we are going to accept without doing any math is this 45 degree. For the rest, you have to do math. This blue angle is 180 minus 45. This blue angle, which is what, 130, 135. So our second angle is 135 degree. Let me change to purple. Then we have our third angle is this purple one. From here to here, it's 180 plus 45 degree. Because 180 plus 45 more. So 225. 225, yeah. So we have 225 degree. And the last one is easy. It's 360 minus this 45. 360 minus 45, 315, right? 315 degree. So you have to show me this. You have 445, so we have 4 answers. I mean, you have plus minus, so you have 4 answers. Each one of them are 45, so we need the bigger angle for these reference angles. And then you convert all of these into radians. The first one is easy, it's pi/4. And I don't know the rest. What is 135? Whatever what? 3 pi/4. The next one, 225. 5 pi/4. 7 pi/4. Oh, wow. Did you notice something? It's 1, 3, 5, 7. Cool, cool. So how do you go from the degree to radian? You have to show the work. And if you just put it without showing up, make sure to draw your unit circle. For less than 90, I'm not going to punish you. It's normal. But anything above 90, you have to do your work. Okay, the last one, cosecant. We have cosecant in both of them, so we have to factor out cosecant. And we're left with cosecant x minus 2 equals 0. So we have cosecant x 0, and we have cosecant x is 2. And then you have 2 ways of doing it. Either convert this cosecant into sine, or just keep the cosecant. If you keep the cosecant, this one is simple. We have hypotenuse over what? Opposite. So do we have a triangle that has hypotenuse 2? Which triangle? 30, 60, 90. And which angle has opposite 1? 30 degree. So this is understandable. But since our domain is 2 pi. So we have, this is y, right? 1 over y. So y is positive on the first quadrant and on the second quadrant. So this is positive 2. So you're looking for positive y. That means we're supposed to have two answers. One is in the first quadrant and one is in the second quadrant. So first quadrant is 30 degrees, we accept. But for the second one, we need this big angle, 180 minus 30, 150. Okay, so this is for 2. Now, if you tell me this doesn't exist without doing any math, what do you think I should think about you? Like, how do you know cosecant 0 doesn't exist? Did I ever tell you cosecant 0 doesn't exist? Like the tangent, remember I said tangent half pi doesn't exist because we have horizon vertical asymptote. So you should know. If you tell me, if it was tangent pi over 2 and tell me it doesn't exist, I accept. But without doing anything, how do you know cosecant x doesn't exist? So you're doing something in your brain. So what's wrong with showing me your brain? What your brain is thinking? What's wrong with that, guys? See, this is what I want to see. How do you know that it doesn't exist? 1 over y is 0. 1 is not 0. So if you want to get a 0, you want to have y 0. But 1 over 0 doesn't exist. So this expression doesn't make sense. 1 definitely is not 0, right? So how can it divide 1 by something so the result will be 0? Is it possible? 1 over 0 doesn't exist. Anything divided by 0 doesn't exist. So this thing doesn't exist. It's not possible. It's impossible. So you have to show me at least something so that I can see, oh, you're thinking that way. And then you convert this into radians. So 30 degrees is easy, 6 pi over 6. And what is 150? 5 pi over 6. Are you sure it's 5 pi? 150, 180. So 15 goes to 3. 3 goes to 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 pi. Okay. So this is what you're supposed to do. First solve it. And then with this, either use the graph or a unit circle or XY point. Use something to show me how do you come up with all the answers except for the below 90 degree. So yeah, all of these, at least one of these equations and at least one question from this page, we are going to see in the final exam, which is tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's tomorrow. Wow, I totally forgot. Any question? Go ahead. Definitely one simplifying and one equation. So sometimes they give one equation, sometimes they give two equations, but definitely two. You may see more than two, but definitely not less than two. And also you're going to see all of this conversion. Convert the degree to radian. Definitely 3 of them. Convert degree to radian. No, converting is one, but finding what is sine 225, cosine 225, or cosecant, cotangent, like finding out the value of your sine or cosine trig angle, definitely 3 of them. So trigonometry is almost half of the exam. So if you're bad at trigonometry, good luck. Okay, so Yesterday we did chapter 1, and today we're going to do chapter 2, 2 and 3. 2 and 3, about 1/3 of the exam, I would say. So chapter 1 will be like 1/3, 1/3. But then trigonometry, I saw it's almost like half. So probably I should say 1/4, 1/4, and then 1/2, whatever. You're going to see a lot of questions. That's the main thing. Okay, expanding log. Do you remember how to expand log? What do we do? So based on how many elements you have in your argument, you have to have that many log. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 argument, 4 elements. So we are going to have log 100. Oh, I should put one more. Let's say x square on the bottom. Log 100 plus log p to the 4 plus log q to the 5, and then minus log r to the 1/2. You have to convert the radical into exponent. And then for x square, this is x square minus log x square. So everything on the denominator gets the minus, everything on the numerator gets the plus. And then you simplify. Can you simplify log 100? Yeah. What do you get? 2. Because this 100 is 10 square. So we have the invisible 10. Everything cancel out, the answer is 2. And then what happens to the next one? So 4 log p. The next one, 5 log q minus 1/2 log r minus 2 log x. So when it says expand, means you're going to make it bigger. But when you say write as a single log, you're going to write all the log into one single log, and based on the sign, you put the numerator or denominator. Every coefficient will turn into exponents. It's the reverse direction. Any question? Okay, solving log. What is our first step to solve log? Combine 2 logs into 1 log. And how you're going to combine? Are you going to add, subtract, multiply, divide? Multiply. So if you have a plus sign, you multiply. If you have a minus sign, you're going to divide. So this is the single log. Converting multiple logs into 1 log is called single log. We are converting everything to a single log so that we can rewrite this as an exponential function. 3 gets 2 as a power, and we set them equals x minus 3, x plus 5. So I remember this as a cycle. Our cycle starts from the base of the log. 3 gets the right side of the equal sign as a power. Right side as a power. And then we set that thing equals to the argument. And then we do FOILing. So x times x, x squared plus 5x minus 3x minus 15, and we're subtracting 9. This is 9, right? So we subtract 9 to bring everything together. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 24. Okay. Then what? Factor, great. Which two numbers multiply to 24 add up to 2? 6 and 4. How about the sign? 6 must have the positive sign because of the middle sign. Bigger factor always has to get the middle sign. And since we are going down from 6, we have to have opposite sign. So that tells us we have x plus 6, 0 means x is negative 6. And then x minus 4, 0 means x is 4. You must check because it's a multiple choice question. That means they're going to trick you. They'll give you all possible choices. So you have to see which one is correct. Sometimes both of them work. Sometimes none of them work. Sometimes only one of them work. Almost everything is multiple choice besides 6 or 7 of them. So you have to roll 34 questions. So around 26 multiple choice and the other non-multiple choice. 34 to 35. Yeah. Yeah, it's 40 if you count multiple parts. Few questions multiple parts. So check. When you check, we have to check the log part. That's the most important thing, log, not this equation. This equation will always satisfy that. You need the log. What makes the log 0 or negative? So we have log base 3, x minus 3, and we have log base 3, x plus 5. The first x is negative 6. So we get log 3, negative 6 minus 3. That gives us log negative 9. It's automatically undefined. Log cannot be negative. And then once you get one part is undefined, you don't have to check the other part. It's automatically undefined. When x is 4, we get log 4 minus 3, and we get log 4 plus 5. This is plus, this is plus. I mean, this is 1 acceptable, this is 9 acceptable. So only answer is x equals 4. So in the multiple choice, they're going to give you the answer, x equals negative 6. Option 1. Option 2, x equals 4. Option 3, x equals negative 4, positive 6. Option 4, x equals negative 6, positive 4. And probably option 5 doesn't exist, no solution. So you're going to have all these options. They will be tricky. They will change the sign. They will they'll do something to trick you. Question? Okay. Now, 100 means calculator. We need a calculator. So we have ln of 2x minus 3 equals 5. Every ln has what base? E. So there is an invisible E here. So we convert this into exponential. E gets 5 as in power. So e to the 5. And then we set it equals our argument 2x minus 3. So convert log into exponential. If you try to apply e, I noticed if you multiply e with 5, which was wrong. It's not e times 5, it's e to the power 5. So we add 3, and then we divide by 2. So our x is whatever you have here, round to the nearest hundredth. 75 point. Before rounding, what number you have? 706. So second place on 71. Any questions so far? Okay, the next one is domain for log. Domain for exponential is everything from negative infinity to positive infinity, but log is very dangerous. It doesn't take zero or it doesn't take negative number. Just like what else we had that doesn't take zero and square, just like square root, but square root of zero exists, log zero doesn't exist. That's because of the graph. If you look at the log graph, it has x-intercept 1. So the minimum it can get is up to 0, but it never crosses 0. So its domain is only the positive. No 0, no negative. So we use this concept to figure out the domain for this transformation. We have 18 minus 27x must be bigger than 0. It cannot be 0. It cannot be negative. It has to be strictly bigger than 0. And then we add 27x to both sides. So 81 must be bigger than 27x. We divide by 27. Can we divide 81 by 27? 9/3 is 3. It's 3. And since this is interval notation, I remember giving you this question in your exam or quiz somewhere, right? So most of you actually got up to here. And then for the interval, it totally messed up. Why? Because the position of the x is on the wrong side. Since we are used to seeing x on the left side, and here our x is on the right side, so let's write it in normal way. But anytime you write something normal way, make sure your mouth is toward the thing you have here. So if you write x and 3, which side has the mouth, the x side or the 3 side? So this is the correct version. And this one we can read easily. See, the top one says 3 is bigger than x. Your brain takes time to figure out what does it mean 3 is bigger than x. So what is x? What type of numbers are x? But if you look at the bottom one, x is less than 3. Your brain works faster. You can already see the number line in your brain. Do you, like, I can see when I read x is smaller than 3, I can know the number line already pops up in my head. X is smaller than 3. So if this is our number line and this is 3, which side is smaller, the left or the right? The left. So what is the smallest number we have on the left? Negative infinity. So what is our domain? Negative infinity to 3. And what should be the boundary? Parentheses. So anytime you see x is on the wrong side, rewrite. Because I always do. When I rewrite, my brain works faster. So rewrite, and you're not going to make mistake. But anytime you rewrite, make sure you look at the position. Which side is the mouth and which side is the ending? You cannot switch that thing. Okay, one more solving, but this is exponential because our x is on the power. Exponential equation. So what do we do? Add 4. Our goal is to have the same base on both sides. So 6x squared plus x equals 36. We have two different bases, right? One side has 6 base, the other side has 36 base. So what can we do? Good. We want to rewrite 36 using the 6 base. So we get 6 square. And anytime you have the same base, you cancel them. And you keep the powers equals to one another. You subtract 2, so you get x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. Is this factorable? Which two numbers multiply to negative 2 add up to 1? Positive 2 minus 1. So x plus 2, 0 means x is negative 2. X minus 1, 0 means x is positive 1. Exponential has domain everything, so you don't have to worry about the answer. Whatever we get, that's correct. Question? Okay. Solve a 4-degree polynomial. So anytime you see solve, it means you have to set it equals to 0. So x to the 4 minus 13x squared plus 36 equals 0. Who remembers what do you do next? So you're trying to use substitution method. You don't have to because we can factor directly. Our goal is to split x to the 4 into 2 pieces evenly and 36 into 2 pieces. That will give us the sum negative 13. So if you split x to the 4 evenly, what do you get in each piece? X squared. And if you divide 36 into 2 numbers that add up to 13, which 2 numbers you're going to use? 9 and 4. 9 times 4 is 36, 9 plus 4 is 13. But how about the signs? Minus 9, minus 4. And then you can factor more because both of them are difference of perfect squares. So from here, which 2 factors we get? X plus 3, x minus 3. From the next one, which 2 factors we get? X plus 2 minus 2. So x equals negative 3. X equals positive 3. X equals negative 2. X equals positive 2. 4 answers. Same thing, but in inequality notation. Means we're not going to have x equals a number, we're going to have an interval. But we need those x-intercept to figure out our intervals. What do you think our first step should be? Factor. So first you have a GCF. So we factor out x and we're left with x squared minus x minus 42. And then we factor more. Which 2 numbers multiply to 42 combine to 1? 7 times 8 is 56. 6. 7 and 6. And how about the sign? Negative 7, positive 6. Once you're done factoring, we need the x-intercept. So this is the new version of our given equation. But we need the x-intercept. So we set each one of them equals to 0 and we solve for x. Why do we care? Because we need the number line. Actually, I don't need this big number line because I need only one line to test. Negative infinity, positive infinity, and we have 3 x-intercepts. Which number goes first? 7 is positive. Negative 6, then 0, then 7. Now, all of these, x equals 0 has multiplicity what? 1. X equals 7 has multiplicity what? 1. X equals 6 has multiplicity what? 1. So all of these are odd numbers. Means if you just check the first interval, they will alternate the sign. So all you have to do is take a number from the first interval, plug into our new version of the equation, and see what sign we get. So x equals negative 7. We get negative 7 times negative 7 minus 7 times negative 7 plus 6. We used the original, not the original, the simplified version to check. So this is negative, and negative, negative, this is also negative. And how about the last interval? The last also negative. If you multiply 3 negative, the result is negative. So if this is negative, the next interval must be positive. The next interval must be negative, and the last interval must be positive. And now see what we are looking for. Bigger than 0 means positive, and what should be our ending, bracket or parenthesis? Why parenthesis? No equal sign. Good job. So our solution is this interval. Negative 6 to 0, parenthesis, and 7 to infinity, parenthesis. So factor, get the x-intercept, plug them on the number line, check the first interval. If your multiplicity is even, you're not going to change the sign when you move from one interval to the other interval. But if you have the multiplicity odd, you're going to switch sign on every interval you move to. Okay. Any questions so far? Great. The next one. We have negative 3x to the 4 minus x cubed minus 1. Which type of polynomial is this? Is it a positive polynomial or negative? Negative, because you have a negative sign. And what's the degree, odd or even? Even. Even power. So can you think of a small polynomial that has negative in the front and even power on the top? Negative x squared. What's the shape of the negative x squared? Upside down parabola. That means our ending both are going down. So which of these has ending both going down? B and D. Now, which one makes sense? B, because it's fourth degree. If you have square degree, then it's a parabola. If you don't have a square degree, it's not a parabola. It will look like a parabola, but it may not be a parabola. So this is our best option. 4, so it's 1 unit less. And you see 1, 2, 3. And also you can look at the y-intercept. Our y-intercept is negative 1 here, but our y-intercept is positive 1 here. So this one makes sense more. Add power. If it's positive, add, it goes this way. If it's negative, add, it goes this way. Okay, exponential function. What's the original exponential function? The shape of the original exponential function? It goes to the x value 1. Now, if you have a negative in the power next to the x, so a negative inside your function, it's a reflection about y-axis. Good. Reflection y-axis. So that means you're going to reflect this about y-axis. So your new graph should be something like this. So this is a candidate, this is a candidate, this is not, this is not, this is not. So which one makes sense? A makes sense. Look at our equation. It's 2 times the original, right? So this is 1 for the original one. If you have e to the negative x, x value is 1. But if you multiply by 2, what should be your x value now? 2. So the formula for the first one is only e to the negative x. There is no 2 in the front. When you have a 2 a number, you're moving your y up. Because that 1 times 2 is 2. Plus 2, then you are moving it 4 units up. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere here. You go 1, 2 up. This is e to the x plus 2. Because you have a 2 in the front. 2 e to the minus x plus 2. This one gives us our x value is 2. So your y value is 2 and x is 1, right? And if you add 2 more, 2 plus 2, 4. 4 units, sorry, not 6 units. 4 units. Vertical and horizontal asymptote. I feel like I didn't work with this for a long time. Do you guys remember your vertical and horizontal asymptote? Forgot already? How do you find vertical asymptote? It's vertical. Horizontal is the power. You look at x to the m and x to the m. That's the horizontal asymptote. Sorry, horizontal. Whatever cancel out gives you a whole. That's a removable discontinuity. Pravzat? Simplify denominator. Vertical asymptote is simplified denominator equals 0. Not the original. The original denominator tells us the domain. Simplified denominator tells us the vertical asymptote. Okay, that means you have to simplify. So can you factor this? What goes to the first? What goes to the numerator? Plus 2 plus 1 on the denominator. Plus 3 minus 3. Can you cancel anything? No. So we're going to simplify. So what is our vertical asymptote? X plus 3, 0 means x is negative 3. X minus 3, 0 means x is positive 3. And how about horizontal asymptote? So y equals Kimberly. 1. How do you need 1? X squared divided by x squared. They both have 1. So x squared cancel out. It's only 1. Take the highest term on the top, highest term on the bottom. If they are same, they cancel out. The answer is a coefficient. If the numerator is big, there is no horizontal asymptote. If the denominator is big, what is the asymptote? Y equals 0. 3 scenarios. If M is bigger, no horizontal asymptote. If M is smaller, then it's Y equals 0. Three rules. Then it's the coefficient. If M and N are equal, the same, then the result is not 1, the coefficients. See, 1 and 1. If it was 1 and 2, the result will be 1/2. It's not 1, it's a coefficient. Okay, we have another one. Y equals 3x squared minus 42x plus 135 divided by x squared plus 1. Now we know M is smaller than N, means if the numerator is big, the answer is Y equals 0. Smaller, 0. If the numerator is big, then there is no asymptote, no horizontal asymptote. But if they are same, then that's the number in front of them, the coefficients. No asymptote. Zero. Y equals 0. Okay, what do you think the vertical asymptote in the next one? Always highest degree. Simplified. So let's say you have a polynomial y equals a x to the m dot 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 dot. And let's say you have b x to the n dot 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 dot. And mn and the highest number in that polynomial. So if m equals n, means they are the same power, then the answer is y equals a over b. Means whatever number you have in front of them, that's the coefficient. But if m is smaller than n, means the denominator is big, the answer is y equals 0. And the last scenario, m is big, then no horizontal asymptote. For horizontal, take anything, it doesn't matter. But safety is the original one.
Has a epsilon that's a fraction, it also reflects on the y-axis. What the fraction will look at? Like the number 0 and 1.
So y equals a times b to the x. That's exponential format. Now if this b is bigger than 1, anything bigger than 1, the graph goes this way. If this is a fraction between 0 and 1, then the graph goes downward. Reflecting about the y-axis. So,
So,   uh,
And then we have the negative rules.   So,   1 equals a x to the n dot 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 dot. And m is smaller than n, means the denominator is big, the answer is y equals 0. 1 equals a x to the n dot 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 dot. And m is smaller than n, means the denominator is big, the answer is y equals 0.
1 equals a x to the n dot 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 dot. And m is smaller than n, means the denominator is big, the answer is y equals 0. 1 equals a x to the n dot 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 dot. And m is smaller than n, means the denominator is big, the answer is y equals 0. 1 equals a x to the n dot 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 dot. And m is smaller than n, means the denominator is big, the answer is y equals 0.
base is bigger than 1, the graph goes upward. It's a fraction, then it's go downward.
So does that say A?
B, not S. S could be anything. B is the base. X is the exponent. That's why it's called exponential. X is on the exponential. X is on the exponent. A is a leading coefficient, whatever number you have. For example, here, this is your A. If you don't have anything up-down reflection, there is no up-down reflection, the up-down transformation here. Always replace X with 1. That's the best answer.
Write that as like.
Two. Let's say this is 4. 4 times 2 to the power X. If it's 2, the answer is the first one. If you have, let's say, Y equals 1/2 X, that's the answer. That's the graph for the bottom one. Same thing. 4 is a coefficient, just a coefficient, a normal coefficient. But if you put 4, then this will not be 1 anymore, because you are going to move up. And we have 2 types of reflection. If you have Y equals negative BX, it's reflect about x-axis. And if we have B to the negative X, this is the original one. And this is the reflection one. This is the reflection one. And this is the original one. So based on your negative sign, you reflect 2 different ways. If the negative sign is in front of the function, it's reflection about x-axis. What? Did I do it correctly? No, I didn't do it correctly. Yeah, it's negative. The original one is this one. This is the original BX. So if you're negative in the front, the reflection is this one. Negative B to the X. And this is B to the negative X. So depending on the sign, depending the negative sign on the X, if it's in the front, it's reflection about X. If it's on the power, it's reflection about the Y. Because negative power means a fraction. So it turns into this format. On the left, how did you come up with this? Is that first we compared our original graph with the given graphs. This is the original graph. So when you reflect about the X, it becomes Y-axis reflection. So this is the graph you're looking for. So only first and second one works. Now, if you look at the Y-intercept, if you have e to the negative X, and when your X is 1, your Y is also 1. Right? So when X is 0, you get e to the 0, which is 1. But we have Y equals 2 e to the negative X. So when X is 0, Y is 2 times e to the 0, which is 2. So it has to be here. When X is 0, what's the Y value? That's what you look at. Point x is 0 or y is 2 times 1 because anything to the power of 0 is 1. So you have 2 times 1 or y must be 2. But this y is 1. So it's equal to the power of 1. Okay. And if you want to refresh your memory more, you can watch the recording for the transformation of exponential. Okay, the next one. We have 3x squared minus 42x plus 135 divided by x squared plus 1. We are looking for both horizontal and vertical asymptote. What do you think about the vertical asymptote? We know it's simplified denominator, right? And in order to simplify, we want to factor mostly, right? Can you factor the denominator? No. So since we cannot factor the denominator, we have to take this denominator to find the vertical asymptote. We set it equals to 0. Not factorable. So we have x squared equals minus 1. And then you can use logic. Is there any way you can square something that results will be negative? Is it possible? No. So can you get a vertical asymptote? In order to simplify, we have to factor both numerator and denominator, right? So before even looking at the numerator, look at the denominator. Is it factorable?
Yes.
Denominator. Denominator is not factorable. So what's the point of factoring the numerator? It's not going to help us anyway because denominator is not factorable. If denominator is not factorable, we have to use that denominator for vertical asymptote. If it's factorable, then we factor both numerator and denominator. If it's cancelable something, we cancel, and then we take the remaining denominator. But when something is not factorable from the beginning, there's no point of doing factoring. Not possible. So no vertical asymptote. How about the horizontal asymptote? Good. See, it's not 1. We have the same thing, so we cancel them, the answer is 3. Okay, the next one. Which of these equations have y horizontal asymptote y equals 70? Okay, clear, right? So let me write them clearly. A says y equals 210 x squared plus 912 divided by 3x plus 17. B says y equals 70 over x cubed plus 40. C says y equals 2x minus 140 divided by 3x plus 10. D says 9x plus 350 divided by 5 minus 3x. And E says 280x plus 35, 7 plus 4x. So which of these has horizontal asymptote 70? E, how do you know? We have 280x divided by 4x. Y equals 280x divided by 4x, x cancel out, the answer is 70. How about the horizontal asymptote for D? Y equals negative what? Really? -3. And how about C? Y equals 2/3. This one, Y equals 0 because there is nothing on the numerator. So denominator is big. Anytime denominator is big, the answer is 0. And how about the numerator? So not numerator, A. We have x squared and x. Good. No horizontal asymptotes. 2, 3, whichever. I don't remember whichever that is. Okay, now the money. Remember, money has several problems. Either the time will be missing, or the interest rate will be missing, or the final amount will be missing, or the initial amount will be missing. Whatever is missing, based on that, you're going to take different steps. And first of all, you have to see which formula you're going to use, the part formula or the other formula. So in this example, we have an account that earns continuous compound. Oh, continuous, which formula? Part. So this account continuous interest annual rate is 3.8. So our R is 0.038. If $16,000 is initially deposited. So what is the $16,000? A or P? Initial means what? Principal. So $16,000 interest rate is 0.038. How long it will take means you're looking for time. A is 19,500. So our goal is to get this T alone. And since the T is on the numerator, so eventually you have to invite what? Log. Which log? LOG or LN? LN. Why do you know it's LN? Good job. Only LN cancels E. If you invite log LOG, it doesn't cancel. Okay, so before we invite our LN, we have to make our house little clean. So how do you clean the house? Divide by 16,000. So you can cancel the 2 zeros. We have 19,500 divided by 160 equals e to the 0.038t. Since our house is clean, so we can invite the ln. Remember, ln is a function. So you have to apply it on the left, never on the right. Put ln of whatever you have on the left side. And you have to put everything inside the parentheses. So E and ln, they fight one another. Our guest is bad. It kills the host. So we have ln of 195 over 160 equals 0.038t. What's the last step to get the t ln? 0.038. 0, this is 1. 0.038. So round to the nearest hundredth. What's the result? 5.205. And 100 means how many decimal places? So 5.21. And what's the other formula? A equals P times R over N. R over N to the power NT. If you still remember this formula because you don't know which one they're going to give you, the continuous or the compounding annually, semi-annually, those things. If you do something annually, how many times you do it? Once. So semi means half of the one. Two. Quarter. What is quarter? Oh, four. If you forget about the quarter, remember about how many quarters we have in a dollar. Okay. Height. Maximum height. Do you remember what type of equation we have here? What's the name of the equation? When the highest degree is 2? Quadratic. So we have a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. So in a quadratic, what's the shape of a quadratic equation? Parabola. And what type of parabola we have here? Upward or upside down? Upside down. So in upside down parabola, if you're looking for something maximum, where can we find the maximum? At the vertex. So for any type of quadratic formula, if they ask me for maximum or minimum, that means you're looking for vertex. See, I didn't read anything yet. Just by observing the word maximum, I went to see what is my function. When I say square, that means a parabola. Negative x square means upside down parabola. Maximum means you're finding the vertex. And now we can read. A projectile is launched from the top of a building. The height of the projectile is given by h of t. So this is our height. And t is time. They are looking for maximum height. So what we are looking in the vertex, the x or the y? Y. So x means t and y means height. Since you're looking for maximum height, means you're looking for the y. But before finding y, we need the x. Good job. Negative b over 2a. So in this example, what is b? 22. And what is a? Negative 16. So 2 goes to 22 11 times. Negative, negative cancel out. We have 11 over 16. And since it's just round to the 100, means it's a calculated question. So what is 11 over 16? So you can put the decimal, or you can put the original fraction. If you put original fraction, that would be more accurate. But what is 11 over 16 in decimal? Is it continuous or it's only, does it 4 digits? So it's up to you whether you want to keep it or do you want to do 11 over 16. Whatever is easier for you, okay? So if I keep the fraction, we get the height will be negative 16 divided by 11 over 16 square plus 22 times 11 over 16 plus 45. And we can actually clean this up a little bit. It's 16 times 16 times 16, 11 times 11 plus 22 times 11 divided by 16 plus 45. 16, 16 cancel out. We get negative 11 times 11 over 16 positive 22 times 11 over 16 plus 45. So from here, we are going to get, we took out 11 over 16. We get 11 times 11 over 16 plus 45. You don't have to do that, but I'm doing it for fun. What's the final answer? 52.56 round to the 100th. Okay. And you're allowed to use only a scientific calculator. If you bring graphing calculator, you cannot use it. Oh, with this, we are done in chapter 2 and 3. So in our last class, we did chapter 1. Today, we finished chapter 2 and 3. That means trigonometry is the only thing left to review. And we will do chapter 5 today, right? Chapter 5, the quiz is the same as reviewing. So we did 1, 2, 3, 5. Now, review chapter 4 very well. It will be half of the exam, chapter 4. Yeah. Will you have the energy? I actually have another exam after your class. So tomorrow I have double exams. Yeah. Huh? 10:23. It's 11-week section. 11-week session, so it's a long one. Okay, so let's go to the practice final we have on Brightspace. And let's see with our knowledge so far, how much we can finish. Go. Yep. You can ignore this. Whatever I need to cover, that means probably they'll not do that. With my notes, I can guarantee they have at least 95% in the final. So if I didn't cover, probably they should be 5%. And in the final exam, you have 5 points extra anyway. In the final exam is out of 105 points, 5 points extra. But the maximum we can get is 100. So even if you get 105, the answer is 100. 100. Final exam has 5 points partial credit, 5 points extra credit. So we have like, you can do 1 or 2 questions wrong, you still be fine. So for you have 3 points. So if you get 2 points wrong, two questions wrong, you have 99. You're still fine. Sure. Brightspace.
I know some of them will know. This is the final answer, or even though it wasn't.
But the answer is only negatives. But I didn't have this before.
No,
I graded this. So this is wrong. This is correct.
but that's what because even when I worked it, all my answers that come down to this, I did because I know you said you can't have a wrap on. So I couldn't fit it. I was circled.
Really?
Even
But you circled this one. And when did you box this one?
it was on the original one because I even came to the back and did the equation. And then put the negative because the original one was just.
You're reading into it now.
Marco was sitting next to me and I was comparing.
Okay, because this is correct. But
I promise, because
okay. I'm trusting you, no problem. I know you are a hard worker person.
I wouldn't, because
Okay, so this
I was
is
trying
2
to give-
points.
I was trying to give another example of I feel like I worked it out and reduced the work.
But that's the final answer because that's the first thing I see. If the final answer is correct, I look at the work. If it is wrong, there is no point of checking everything else.
But I did it though.
Yeah.
And I always, well, at
So
least
2
with this
points.
one, I was paying attention because you see how I was doing the SATC.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it had to be a negative because it was in this one that, because cosecant is an inverse of, what is that?
Reciprocal of sine.
Of sine, so because it wasn't in the sine box,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's why I put negative. So that was negative. And as you can notice, every graph I drew the SATC, so if the thing wasn't in the right area, I would put the negative sign. Like this one, even though it was wrong. It wasn't in the tangent box, so I took it as a negative. So that's why this one.
Okay.
And then this one, and then it's fine if it's a no. But since I indicated what the angle was, and that's the only thing that was on the sheet.
I give you 1 point.
Oh, it was.
This one is wrong, so there is no point here.
Yeah, that's.
So this is correct, 2 points, and this is 1 point. I cannot give you 2 because you indicated the wrong one.
Okay, fine. I know I have more questions, and I feel like I showed thorough work, so I can't I can't add anything last minute. And I looked at Marco's test, so I was making sure. But again, this one, is there any way I can get partial credit for? I know it's just 1 point.
I'm punishing you here because not only you, like everyone, I did the same thing. Because in the final exam, it's no partial credit. So if you see this question, it's straight 0. Yeah, but I was nice and I gave partial credit to others once. But this one is only 1 point. So it's either full point or no points.
So what about this one? Oh, wait, you gave me
This one is 2 points. I gave you 1 point.
Fine. Okay.
And there's no partial credit.
Okay, that's fine. I couldn't figure out how to do radical. I'm waiting in my head.
But you should learn it because tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You must, because tomorrow's exam, many of the questions will be in region mode.
What about this one? Is this one partial credit?
This one, no partial credit.
Even if it was just a sum.
I know, Marco had the same thing. But yeah, the main reason behind me being harsh here is so that you can be careful in the final.
Yeah, I understand. But do I at least get this one back since I got this one correct?
2 points. So you have currently, what's that number? 53, so it will be 55 out of 70. Which will be probably.
And then this
77.
one.
Your graph is okay, but your level completely wrong. First of all, your period is not 2 pi.
Okay.
So you got the period even wrong from the beginning.
Oh,
Period
so
is not 2 pi.
So this one didn't get any credit at all.
No, because period is not 2 pi. First of all, it's 2 pi divided by your b. 2 pi divided by 2. 2 pi divided by pi is 2, not 2 pi.
Okay.
And again, in the final exam, trust me, if they give you the graph, they'll give you both choices, pi to pi, and then 1, 2. So if you pick this one, yeah, so you have to be careful.
Okay.
They'll trick you in the final exam.
Okay. All right, I'll take the 2 points. So absolutely.
And be careful about in the final.
It's just that little thing. I feel like I made small mistakes. And then what was this one?
It's true. Like your exam looks great. Like you got everything correct, and then suddenly a few things wrong. You have right idea, but you want more. I feel like you had this.
I remember when I was even like, hey, if I just draw it for you, can you just accept that? I mean, I feel like
So you draw and then you circle the wrong thing.
You've got two things circled.
Yeah, but see here, whatever is inside, you're supposed to get that back.
Okay.
This is a ratio, you're supposed to get a ratio back. This is a ratio, you're supposed to get a ratio back. This is the angle, you're supposed to get an angle back. So if you tell me the answer is a ratio, is this correct?
That's fine.
True,
Okay.
but you're telling me the answer is a ratio. The answer is not a ratio.
What if I circle two things?
See, you circled two things. What is it? Which one I picked?
I just need 2 more points for it to not be to the next letter, right?
Do better on the final, then it's not going to be, it's not going to affect much.
Okay. It still counts.
Yeah, but I'm actually a very nice person, trust me.
Thank you.
So let's see, what do you get?
Okay, then I'll get the 2 back for sure, though. Okay, cool. Thank you.
0365550. 0365550. Um, why was this on? What's wrong with this? Come on. Zero three six five five zero. 03655. Okay. You mean the review? And whatever you are missing, you can watch the recording. Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy your visit. Alright, good luck with the final. This final. So did you guys try the practice final? Which one is harder, 1 or 2? 2? Now let me. I didn't even open them, so I have no idea. But they look pretty much like the final exam. We are not allowed to share. We are not allowed to share. Yeah, but it looks pretty much like the old final. So let me download this one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's see how much you can do. Even function. Oh. Let me change the color to green. Even function. What is tangent? Add. So definitely not this one. What is cosine? Even. But what is x? Add. Oh man, it was really bad. So it's not this, it's not this. What is sine? Add. So definitely not this. What is 5? Add. Definitely not this. So what is left? E. Must be this is the option. This is odd. Let's see. F of negative x is 5 times negative x minus 1. Absolute value makes things positive. So 5 times x minus 1. Condition is that x has to be bigger than or something. This is our condition. Huh? X means odd because x has 1 power. No, x is odd. Though, you're not looking at x, you're looking at the function itself. Which type of function you have here? Absolute value function. Do you remember the shape of the absolute value function? Is it odd or even function? It's even because symmetric about the y. So if you shift it 1 unit down, it's still even. If it make it wider, it's still even. If you make it narrower, it's still even. If you have a left-right movement, then it's not even. So if you have, let's say, x plus 1 inside the absolute value, so you are shifting your absolute value here. Is it even anymore? Yeah, but whatever. It's left or right. Is it even anymore? No. So left, right, we cannot have in the even function, but up, down, and then making wider and smaller, stretching and shift the custom is allowed. First question, we did it yesterday. Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So here they give you the formula. Formula, okay. So here they're telling us replace x with this, and then subtract f of 3. So you have to find what is f of 3, what is f of 3 plus 8. Man, this ink is so bad here. How about highlighter? Does highlighter work? Let's see. No, highlighter is even bad. Yeah. Okay. We did it yesterday, so fine. Main. We have square root on the denominator. So what's the condition for square root? Greater than 0, because denominator cannot be 0. So 3 minus x has to be bigger than 0. So 3 has to be bigger than x. What does it mean? It looks unfamiliar. So x and 3 has the mouth. So basically it's saying x is smaller than 3. Which one is x is smaller than 3? Negative infinity 3. Okay. 2 sine x, and then you are shifting 6 units up. So 2 sine x. Which one makes sense? Period is 2 pi. They give it 2 pi. Good. And then 2 sine x. Let's see. 2 sine x plus 6. If we can find the y-intercept, this will be easier to figure out which one. So when x is 0, we get 2 sine 0 plus 6. What is sine 0? 0. So when x is 0, our y must be 6. When x is 0, y 6 here. This is a good candidate. This is not. X is 0 here. This is also a candidate. This is not. X is 6 here. So you have 3 candidates. So E is the reflection. Yep. So this is not a good idea. E. And then we have between B and C. And what's wrong with this? How can I get out? B and C, which one makes sense? Period. What is our period? 2 pi. So how many period you have here? Why can't I draw? Come on. So we have one cycle. Let me try to open it with Edge. Edge is much better than Firefox. Why did I download? Let me see first. Hold on. Ah. Okay, so one period of sine is starts from here, goes up, goes down, and so here it goes up, goes down, and set at this is one cycle. But look at here, this is one cycle and then two cycle. So which one makes sense? B. What is your B here? The format is y equals a plus, not plus, right? A times the trig bx plus c plus d, something like that. So whatever we have inside the trig, that's going to give you b in front of the x. And if you have a plus or minus c, that's going to give you shifting, left-right shifting. So what number you have in front of x? That's your b. So period is 2 pi over b. In this case, it's 2 pi over 1, which is 2 pi. Okay, so the answer is B. We'll come back to it later. My head hurts. Which rational function? We didn't do that, right? But you can still draw it, no problem. We have a vertical asymptote at what? X equals 1, 2. X equals 2. We have a horizontal asymptote at 1, 2, 3. Y equals 3. And we have x-intercept and y-intercept here. Okay, so vertical asymptote tells us we have x minus 2 on the bottom, right? So x minus 2, not this. Oh, no. X minus 2 after simplifying. So when you simplify this, we get 3 times x minus 1 and then 3 times x minus 2, right? So this is also a candidate. This is x plus 2, not candidate. X plus 3, not candidate. X plus 3, not candidate. So you have 2 candidates. But which one has horizontal asymptote y equals 3? A. Because here you cancel this out. So you're left with x minus 1 over x minus 2. So horizontal asymptote is y equals 1. But this one is telling us horizontal asymptote is y equals 3. So even if you don't know the graph, just based on the horizontal and vertical asymptote, we can figure out that. Okay, since I'm recording, you can watch the recording if you're left behind now for now. Sine is 1/5. Can you make a triangle out of 1 and 5? No. That means you have to make a triangle. It says go from half pi to positive pi. So somewhere here. This is our angle. Sine is what over what? Opposite. And hypotenuse. So from here, opposite is 1, hypotenuse is 5. Then what is the missing piece? 5 square minus 1 square, which is 25 minus 1, which is 24. Okay, and you're looking for cosine. So this 24 here must be negative because the negative side. So we have negative 24 over 5b. Okay. You're finding the maximum and minimum. My hair hurts when I see this type of question. We're going to complete later if you have time. Let's do the inverse. Do you remember the inverse? You're looking for the highest degree. So not degree. This is a sine graph, right? So start from here, go down. The highest will be here, lowest will be here. So you have your amplitude 3 and you're adding 8 more. So plus it's 3 and then so 8 plus 3, 11. 8 minus 3, 5. Is the answer E? Let me see. Is it? Let's check. It's 8. Question number 8. So let me go back. Part 2 answer. 8E. Yay! Correct. So it's amplitude plus plus D, amplitude minus D. Oh, that's the question I gave you in the exam. Remember what's the maximum and minimum? The temperature is this and that, and then the graph was sine graph. This is actually what they are doing. They're adding amplitude with the thing. Okay, so since it's a cubic function, so the result will be a cubic graph. One of these, and then if you get out which one. Quadratic. Write the quadratic function in standard form. I don't think they will give you in the final exam. But remember, the quadratic form is y equals a x minus h squared plus k, right? So you can easily find h. What is h? So negative 12 over 2 times 2, right? Negative cancel out. We get 4 goes to 12 3 times. So we have h is 3. So x minus 3 square. So not this, not this, not this, not this. This one. Okay, inequality. We just did the inequality. They both have x to the 4. So you factor out x to the 4, you get x minus 9. So x is 0 and x is 9. But x is 0 has what's multiplicity? Even. And x equals 9? Odd. So when you draw the number line, we have 0 and 9. Let's say you're picking x equals negative 1. So negative 1 to the 4 is positive. Negative 1 minus 9 is negative. The answer will be negative. So if this is negative and 0 has even multiplicity, what will be the next interval? Also negative. And since 9 has odd multiplicity, what will be the next interval? Positive. And now what they're looking for? They're looking for less than 0. Negative. Strictly negative, right? Nope. When x is 0, our y is 0. They're not looking for 0. They're looking for strictly negative. So strictly negative here, strictly negative here. This cannot be in the negative. Because when x is 0, y is 0. But are they looking for 0? No. So it's 2 parts. Negative infinity to 0 and then 0 to 9. You cannot combine because they are not looking for 0. They're looking for strictly negative. So which interval? Negative infinity to 0, D. Oh, and also in the final exam, you're going to write down D here. Circle and then write down the letter. And then Scantron, you're going to bubble D. Okay. If you don't show me anything, like see here, I know for cubic, it's definitely cubic graph. So if you show me some hint, like here, I didn't do any math. It's simply a plus dm minus d. So you have to show me something that tells me that you didn't guess, or you didn't copy from your neighbor, or you didn't cheat. Okay. That department told me no points for guessing. I asked the same question. What if people make an educated guess? They're lucky. Well, they told me, well, good luck with that. But no points. Okay, transformation. The normal absolute value is this one. How you're transforming this from here to here? 3 units to the right. So inside what? Plus 3 minus 3, which one? Minus 3. And then you reflected about x-axis? Outside. Which one? See. See? Did I do any math? No, I just compared and then showed the work. Secant, tangent, sine. We did very similar one today, right? Convert secant into 1 over cosine, tangent is sine over cosine, sine, keep change, flip, and then get the answer. Zeros means what? Find all zeros means x-intercepts. Means you're setting this equals to 0, solve for x. A good one, 4th degree. Can you factor this? X square, and 6 becomes 6 and 1. How about the sign? Negative 6. Negative 6, positive 1 going to give you 5. Negative, negative. So this is more factorable, x plus 1, x minus 1. Is this factorable? It's root 6. But if you set it equals to 0, x squared is 6, x is plus minus square root of 6. And we get x equals 1, x equals negative 1. Which one? A. Okay. Which one is true about the exponential graph? Y-intercept 0, 0. Look at the exponential graph. Does it have y-intercept 0, 0? No. Vertical asymptote. Does it have any vertical asymptote? No. Vertical asymptote is only for log, not exponential. Vertical asymptote? No. Horizontal asymptote y equals 1. Y equals 1 is here. Do you have asymptote? No. Our asymptote is y equals 0 here. And that means this is the only thing left. So just draw me the graph. Okay, expanding, you already know, we did that. Solution, tangent square x minus 3. That means tangent square x is 3. Tangent x is plus minus square root of 3. Right? Did I make a mistake? No. Plus minus square root of 3. 3 over 1. Tangent is what over what? Opposite, adjacent. Can you make a triangle with opposite root 3 and adjacent 1? Opposite root 3 is 60 degree. So we have domain. Oh, actually, it's a better idea. Okay. Tangent should be from negative half pi to positive half pi. But anyway, they're telling us from 0 to 2 pi. So we have 160 degree here. The original tangent graph is here. Yeah. Okay, so this is 160 degree. And we have plus minus, means how many solutions? 4 of them. Tangent is positive, so 160 degree here, 160 degree here, 1 is here, 1 is here. we have two positive. Tangent is positive here and here. So 2 positive, 2 negative. 60, so 60, 120, and then 180 plus 60 more, 240, and then 300. Convert all of these into radical and whatever works. D. So definitely this cannot be true because 2 pi is not, or 2 pi is included, but 2 pi is 360. It's definitely not the answer. Pi over 60 is 30 degree, definitely not the answer because our answer is 60 degree. It's definitely not E because this is 30 degree. So these are the option we have. Check which one is correct. If the logic is correct that they have to the same denominator, then yes, it's B. But that was 45. 45 is a special angle. May not be true. 45 is special because this is the middle angle. True? Okay. I'm trusting you. Negative x cube. So 180, so you get 2 over 3, 2. And this is 180, you get 4 over 3. Not true. It's true. And then 300, 5 over 3. Yeah. They all are. That's true. Negative 2 cube, negative 2x cube. This is positive. This is definitely not. This is not. So we have two candidates. Which one makes sense? We have plus 2. This is plus 2. This is 0. So this makes sense. This doesn't. Plus turning point also. So G of 2, whatever you get, replace here. Composition, right? You start with the inside. Find theta. So hypotenuse and adjacent given. Which trig function? Cosine. Cosine of the angle is 5 over 10. So cosine inverse, or you don't need that. 5/2 is 1/2, right? Can you make a triangle? Which triangle has opposite 1 and hypotenuse? Not opposite, sorry, adjacent. Adjacent and hypotenuse. 60 degree, right? 60 degree is adjacent one. So angle is 60 degree. And they didn't mention, oh, they mentioned degree. So we are done. Maximum for a quadratic. What you're looking for? Vertex. X value or the Y value? Why? Because they're looking for the profit. Solution, we already know, right? We did that. This is a good one. 2, 5x plus 1, and then we have 8, 2x minus 3. Whole thing gets 1/2 power, right? So we have 2 powers together. What do? Multiply. So 8 to the 1/2 of 2x minus 3. And then we don't have the same thing. So what do? 2 cube times 1/2 of 2x minus 3. 2 to cancel out. So this is equals to 5x plus 1. And then algebra. Oh, definitely you're going to have this. And for this, make sure draw your unit circle. For example, 210. 210 is here, right? So what is this one? Reference. 210 minus 180, 30 degree. So we have a 30, 60, 90 degree. Cosecant is what? Sine, cosine, sine. So y. We are looking for y, which is here. So it's a negative, right? So opposite of 30 degrees is what? 1. So we have -1, and what is the hypotenuse? 2. At least this is what I want to see. The reference angle, the position, and then the number. Oh wait, it's cosecant, so you have to flip it. It's -2/1. See, at the beginning of the thing, it says show all the work. So it doesn't have to say specifically on every question, show work, show work, show work. So every question you're doing, you must show work. For example, here, it only says evaluate. It didn't say show work. Does that mean you're just going to guess? No. Whatever method you're going to use, you have to show work. So see here, I showed work. What I did, I drew my reference angle on the third quadrant. So just draw the original log and then compare the original log with the whatever they give you. If you notice, every question I answer, I never guessed anything. Did you see? I showed at least something, even for this graph. See, I circle this one, so I know it's a negative cubic, and then I pick the two choices, and then see, I showed which one makes sense. So show me something that tells me it didn't guess.
Well, you should eliminate, for example, if it's one that you
You're doing some math, right? Show me that process. I did the same thing. See, I crossed out all these things. I roughed with these two. Then how do you know which one is correct? Did I guess? Definitely not, right? So show me, how did you look at it? When you look.
I looked at the two that I had left.
No, look, Gabriela. When I looked, did I just look? I did not, right? When I looked, I compared my y-intercept. So what did I do? I circled my y-intercept and I showed them here. This is at the correct y-intercept. This is, so this is that.
I guess the reason I'm asking is because I'm one of those people that needs as much time as possible. So something as simple as writing down why I got the answer I got is something that I feel like that's taking away solving the required.
But how would I know you didn't guess? You just tell me I didn't guess. Why should I believe you?
Because I was asking. Can that be enough?
No. Tangent. Which one is tangent? Tangent? Okay, so I don't know what is 3 pi over 4. So I'm going to, huh? What graph? Here? Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have tangent x, and they're looking for what is a. Okay, so we need period. What's the period for normal tangent? Pi over b. And from here to here, how much is our period? We have 1/8 plus 1/8. So we have 2/8 pi, right? This is 1/8 pi, this is 1/8 pi. This is one cycle of a tangent. So in one cycle, how much do you have? We have 1/8 pi here, 1/8 pi here. So we have total 2/8. Do you see that? 2/8. So we have 2/8 pi is one period. And what's the period formula? Pi over b. So pi cancel out. We get 1 over b equals 1/4, right? 2/8 is 1/4. But they're not looking for b, they're looking for a. So it's 4. You flip, say flip. So b, the normal b is a here, okay? Because they changed the letter.
in actual final, I never seen tangent. But it's good to know tangent. What if they change their mind? Yeah, from previous final, none of the finalists knew Jannah. But what if they change their mind? I looked at previous finals. None of them found this one. And no, this final I'm going to see tomorrow with you guys. They're going to give me the final tomorrow, just before the class. Okay, so we are going to see the final together. So you'll know. But it's a good thing because you're making the section here. We just look at one cycle. So in class we did sine and cosine. We look at one cycle. We did the same thing for tangent. Look at one cycle. Which graph is given, it doesn't matter. We look at one cycle. Our one cycle is one cubic function. So the cubic function, right? So this cubic function takes how much space? This is 1/8 and this is 1/8. So total we have 2/8 of the pi. So one period is 2/8 of the pi, but what's the period formula for tangent? 1 pi over b. For sine and cosine is 2 pi over b, but for tangent it's only 1 pi over b. So 1 pi over b is that, then what is b? 4. And here b is a, which is what they're looking for.
So guys, good luck tomorrow. During class 10-11. Do not be late because the final exam is only 2 hours. Show the work. Good luck, guys.